What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we are looking at a super rare Transformers TCG card. I do have a habit of calling these secret rares. They are super rares. It is Starscream. It has been revealed on the official Facebook page of the Transformers TCG, and ladies and gentlemen, I am more than a little bit excited about this card. Now, what I do find very interesting, we did of course have two Starscream cards in Wave 1, and it's kind of interesting to me that one of them was a common and one of them was an uncommon. We didn't have a rare Starscream. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now we have a super rare Starscream, and it's really good. I mean, it should be, really. It's a 13 cost character. We only had two 13 cost characters back in Wave 1, and that was Optimus Prime Battlefield Legend and Megatron Living Weapon. So we have high expectations of a 13 cost. Now, the 15 health, very, very good. The defense of 1 or 2 is not good. But the attack of 5 or 6 is quite nice. So not amazing stats, but certainly in bot mode at least, we're fairly happy. What we do like, however, very much are the skills. And we're primarily looking at bot mode here. Bot mode is the mode in which you will largely want to be. When you flip Decepticon Crown while this is battling, this gets +3 attack and +3 defense until end of turn. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. If you can flip a Decepticon Crown, you have 9 attack and 4 defense. Now, in reality, you're either going to be attacking or you're going to be defending, so it's not really going to be terribly relevant. Both of them. Only one of them is. But you're either going to have a 9 attack, bearing in mind the record in Wave 1 was Optimus Prime Battlefield Legend with 8, or you're going to have 4 defense, which was as high as any character in Wave 1 got on defense. You essentially have the best stats in the game at that stage. We're not counting combiners, they're ridiculous. Because your 15 health straight off the bat is very high. So, you flip Decepticon Crown while battling, and you get to go nuts with stats. Now, generally speaking, we're probably running a 40 card deck. You can run more, but it will decrease consistency. So you're probably running a 40 card deck. And let's say, for argument's sake, you are running 3 copies of Decepticon Crown, and you don't run any bold or tough. That gives you a 7.5% chance of actually getting this ability rolling. That is not particularly good. Now, of course, what you could do here is go for a bit of the old bold and tough. So maybe you play Supercharge to get yourself bold free, and then you're flipping 5 cards rather than 2. And if you're flipping 5 cards out of a 40 card deck, that gives you a 12.5% chance, which is still, I'm going to be honest, not particularly good. Or you can go tough with something like Reinforced Plating, although that only gives you tough 2, which means you're flipping 4 cards, which gives you a 10% chance. So, frankly, we're not loving this very much at all. This is not making us particularly happy. But you see, it doesn't actually really matter, because we're not just going to rely on randomly flipping it while battling. That is not going to be good. No, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be using Plan. Plan is one of the new keyword skills in Wave 2, and Plan says that you get to put cards on top of your deck. And that means that right before you attack, you can put this down. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is much, much more likely that this is going to work. Now, before we look at all the options we've got for Plan, I do just want to have a quick look at the alt mode skill here. When you flip to this mode, return a card that lets you plan from your scrap pile to your hand. So you can pick up a card from your scrap pile with Plan. So ideally here, what you want to do is flip into alt mode, get yourself a card with Plan, flick back into bot mode, use that card with Plan, and then guarantee that you're popping a Decepticon crown down. Now, ladies and gentlemen, now we are absolutely rolling. Things just got an awful lot better. I also here do need to give a shout out to Treasure Hunt. We don't have many cards in the Transformers TCG, which lets you search out actions, upgrades, etc. But Treasure Hunt lets you scrap the top 4 cards of your deck and put all upgrade scrap this way into your hand. And Decepticon Crown is an upgrade, so that is going to help us very much indeed. Cool. So, back to plan then. What options do we have? Well, we do actually have a couple of characters. We've got Torox, that is a 5 cost. It's one of these combiners. It makes up Predaking. And Torox, when you flip it into bot mode, draw a card, and then plan 1. Cool. So flip Torox, get plan 1, and then go about attacking. That sounds fine to me. It's a 5 cost. It's not a particularly amazing 5 cost, but it is a Transformers character that will give you plan. The other option for plan is Dinobot Snarl, except it's not really a plan here, because Dinobot Snarl gets plan 2 when it attacks. Well, that's no use. You need plan 2 right before Starscream attacks, so that's not going to work so well. But really what we want here is upgrades. That's what we're really looking for. Battle cards, action cards, upgrades. That's what we want, so we can guarantee that we're going to get this. And ironically, one of the best options here is in and of itself Decepticon Crown. Now this is what you need to be flipping, and as Vector Sigma pointed out in one of their articles, why is this not just called Starscream's Crown? It could be. Now this is an upgrade utility which can only be put onto Decepticons, and when you attack you get plan 1. The problem is you really need to have Decepticon Crown in your hand so that when you plan you put it down and then you flip it with Starscream. What you don't really want to do here is ever attach Decepticon Crown. That kind of goes against the point. What you want here is to have it in your hand, and then when you get the plan you pop it on top of your deck, and then when you're battling, you are rolling, you flip it, you get the stats boost. That's the ideal here. So you're probably never going to be attaching Decepticon Crown. But we do have an option here of Secret Dealings. Now this is a card we looked at rather recently, and this is really nice for a couple of reasons. You draw a card, and then plan 1. Now, when we looked at this, I said that this was basically a worse version of incoming transmission, because you're not drawing 2, you're drawing 1, but you had a white and a green icon. Now, the green icon here is absolutely crucial. Green icon says that when you flip it while attacking or defending, you may discard a card from your hand and pick up this. So you can basically guarantee you get Secret Dealings. Either you draw into it naturally, or you flip it while battling and put it into your hand. And at this stage I should remind you that Decepticon Crown also has a green icon. The green icon on Decepticon Crown is huge for this card, because if it didn't have the green icon, you might never end up using it particularly when you want to. Whereas with the green icon, and you will do this a lot when you're playing Starscream, you will pick it up, and then it's in your hand. Now, of course, incidentally, you can also pick it up with Starscream Decepticon King when you flip into alt mode. So between your alt mode skill and the green pip, you should be able to get Decepticon Crown pretty readily. That's important, because you want to flip Decepticon Crown when you're attacking or defending, but then it's in your scrap pile, so you get it back with Starscream. But you've also got that green icon. And the ruling here is very important. If you flip it during the battle, you pick it up after when you use the green icon. That means that you will still get the stat boost for Starscream, and you'll pick it up later. So this isn't some random, oh, I hope I flip it. Between Decepticon Crown itself with the green icon and Starscream's alt mode ability, you should be able to have this fairly often. This should not be a card you're digging for all that much, outside the early parts of the game where cards like Treasure Hunt will help very much indeed. Those percentages I showed you earlier in the game, Yeah, we're doing a lot better because we've got our other options here. But Secret Dealing's very, very much a good idea here, because then you can pop it down. It's all very well and good having Decepticon Crown in your hand, but you do need to be able to play it down on top of your deck. That's where Plan comes in. And like I say, you can use Taurox here, but Secret Dealings really is the one we're thinking is going to work more often than not. And Secret Dealings also has a green icon. Remember, you can only pick up one green icon card per battle, but you can always use Starscream to get the other one of them. I also don't know if it would fit with the theme, but do remember Dinobot Swoop here. After you attack, you get to put a battle card you flipped this attack that has at least one green icon into your hand, and you don't have to discard a card to do so. So you can either get one without discarding, or two, only discarding one card from hand. So Dinobot Swoop could be really handy here for getting Decepticon Crown and Secret Dealings back every single turn. Now, I should also mention Field Repair here. Don't choose Field Repair. In theory, it's got Plan. In reality, you can only repair from an Autobot and get Plan. You can repair a Decepticon, but you only get Plan when you repair an Autobot. Don't use that, ladies and gentlemen. It's not good. And it's not a topic I can go into in great detail today, but this does make me wonder if incoming transmission is going to be errated. Because if we have a look at the alt mode of Starscream here, you return a card that lets you plan. Now, as it happens, incoming transmission does have Plan 1, but it's not called Plan 1. I will, of course, send this question off to Wizards so that they can hopefully answer it in tomorrow's weekly rules roundup. I will, of course, have a video about an hour or two after the rules roundup goes online. Incoming transmission would be a good card here, though the lack of green icon worries me a bit, but it doesn't actually have Plan, so it can't be used with Starscream, so it's not actually quite so good, unless they errata it, so we read it with Plan, even though it doesn't actually say it, which is an option, wink. And I should also mention Mining Pick rather quickly. Mining Pick gives you +1 attack, which is nice, and when the upgraded character attacks, you get Plan 2. And you get +1 attack for each one you put down until end of turn. Now, one of the things we need to mention about Starscream here, when you're putting down Decepticon Crown while planning, you're getting +3 attack, but you're not actually getting any orange icons here. Whereas if you're using this, you can put down Decepticon Crown to get the +3, and then also put down something else with an orange icon, which could be kind of fun. Plus, you get the plan for as long as this is on here. It's not necessarily just a one-turn thing, which is very nice, but not having a green pip will make it harder to find. And as we finish off our look at Starscream, we do need to ask the question, what other plan cards are we going to get? Plan wasn't a keyword skill, and I've told you all the planning cards we've got so far in Wave 2, but there are plenty of Wave 2 cards that are yet to be revealed, so, you know, something to bear in mind. Now, I should also mention at this stage it is a plane, which means you do get access to a couple of fancy upgrade cards. You can use Aerial Recon, Utility, +1 defense. When you attack or defend, look at the top card of your deck, you may scrap it. Could work, because if it's not Decepticon Crown, scrap it. Does slightly increase your odds of finding Decepticon Crown. And you also get access to the action card Bombing Run, which lets you choose an enemy character and move 1 damage counter from each of your planes to that enemy. The fact that you are a ranged character gives you one of my favourite upgrades, that being Armed Hovercraft. When you put it onto a ranged character, do 1 damage to each enemy. That's very, very nice indeed. And it also gives you access to Rapid Ascent, +1 defense, and when you put it on a ranged character, your opponent chooses a card from their hand and scraps it. And because you're Starscream, I cannot finish this video before I mention Null Ray of Starscream. +1 attack, and while it's on Starscream, you get Bold too. So you've got some nice tricks as well. I like this. I love the fact that both halves of the card work together. I love that you can have the best stats in the game. The fact that you've got a flip Decepticon Crown is awkward, but the fact that we've got a green icon on Decepticon Crown and we've got some planning cards that also have green icons, as well as the alt mode skill of Starscream, does make me think there is potential here. It's a 13 cost, but it might just actually be worth it. But ladies and gentlemen, I would very much like to know if you think it's worth it. So please do let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! But please do remember the most important rule. Be nice, would ya? And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, and follow me on Twitter at the Wossy, where we talk Transformers and other games. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.